Hockey town, going down to hockey town, whoa, whoa. Hockey town, take me down to hockey town, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello, hockey fans. The Minnesota Hockey Connection is on the air. We're on the air for the next half hour. I'm Kenny Gallagher along with Jerry Burrow. And Jerry, last week I couldn't be here. I had a previous engagement to attend, but you had the gentleman talking about Minnesota.
Hockey Day, Minnesota. Jeremy Jeanette.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He came in there and some good stories too. He was on the '91 Duluth East state tournament second place team, and he said in '97 he's going to college down in River Falls, and they won the national champs in D3 men.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
pretty neat. I mean,
sure.
I never knew that.
Well, I missed out on that conversation, but the 10th annual Wells Fargo Hockey Day Minnesota will take place in Duluth, and you had an opportunity to be down at Bayfront when they raised the flags indicating 100 days to Hockey Day.
Right. This is going to be a big event. If this weather's nice, that's going to really make it nice down there, the view and that. But it's kind of funny. It was a little windy down there the other day. And I tell you what, the people from the cities, Fox Sports North and the Wild Group, they were just shivering. I says, wait, it's a lot nicer in February.
Oh, come on. Oh, those Metro boys, they're soft. Yeah. Officials from the Minnesota Wild, Fox Sports North, Minnesota Hockey, the Duluth Organizing Committee, and Duluth's host high schools gathered to mark the occasion, 100 days to Hockey Day, Minnesota. Duluth will host the outdoor games in 2016 at Bayfront Park. And the games will feature Duluth Denfeld against Evelett Gilbert, Duluth East versus Lakeville North, a rematch.
Right. So 10 o'clock is the Denfeld game, and the East game is 1 o'clock.
Now, this rematch is a rematch of last year's Class AA championship game. Wow, that's huge.
Yeah. I talked to the coach from Lakeville North and that, and we're going to get him on the phone probably within the month of the Hockey Day, Minnesota. He wants to come on and tell us, he's very excited about coming up here, and he really enjoys playing against Mike's teams and that. So it'll be a great talk we'll have with him.
And then University of Minnesota Golden Gophers will face off at Mariucci against Penn State. And then the Wild will play actually at St. Louis later on that evening.
Did you know this is the first year Hockey Day Minnesota where the Wild are away? They've always been at the XL, playing at home.
Well, I saw it and I thought, why is it scheduled this way? Obviously, they couldn't work it where they could have it all work together, so to speak. And that's a bit unfortunate.
You'd think they worked this out way ahead of time,
You'd think so.
But whatever.
You'd think so.
But another thing is the Gophers, being up here in Duluth, why wouldn't they, Fox Sports North, one time just put UMD and Colorado College, which plays that night?
Sure.
Then they don't have to move too far.
Yeah.
Extra cameras have it all set up,
And again, the games will be played outdoors on a specially constructed rink in Bayfront Park. Outdoor games, if they can't be played, will be moved to the Duluth Heritage Sports Center. Hockey Day Minnesota was originated in 2007 by the Minnesota Wild to celebrate the game that has made Minnesota the state of hockey. And then in a partnership with Fox Sports North and Minnesota Hockey, they started Hockey Day Minnesota in Badette, on Badette Bay, the first 2 years they played up there. And then other venues have been Phelan Park, Hermantown, Moorhead, Minnetonka, Grand Rapids, Elk River, St. Paul. And if you want more details on it, you go to wild.com/hockeyday.
Well, it's on our Minnesota Hockey Connection website. You just go to High School Hockey News, and it'll be on there too.
And then, there's a lot more exciting hockey to take place shortly after this. The Wild will host the Chicago Blackhawks on February 21st, the following month. But again, another outdoor game to be played, part of this outdoor stadium series that the NHL has gone with now year after year. And this is turning out to be quite an event.
Right. And we're really the secondary game this year for the outside game, but still, we finally got one.
It's that stadium series.
Right,
It's
yeah.
not part of the classic outdoor game that the NHL does on New Year's Day.
Right. But still, at least we got one. And
Oh,
it's kind of
yeah.
funny why
It's
it
great.
took so long. We're the state of hockey, and come on.
Well, I still think they should have scheduled a game with Dallas. And the reason is because I don't think Dallas can host an outdoor game. Maybe they can, but they're unlikely to.
They'd have a refrigerated.
And Dallas is a natural rivalry, being that that's the team that Minnesota left to go to. But this will work with the Blackhawks.
Yeah. That'll be good.
Yeah.
But, hey, talking about high school kids playing in the Hockey Day, Minnesota, Monday after, 1 week from today, hockey practice starts. And I'll tell you what, the Elite League just ended their playoffs. Now they have the IIT. It's an international invitation tournament down there in New Hope, where they'll have 2 Minnesota teams that come out of the All-Stars from the Elite League, Upper Midwest. And there'll be a lot of Northern boys on that team because they won the league. Plus, they just kicked butt this weekend on their playoffs. Yeah, I mean, they beat CCM team 7-0. Then they beat toughest game they had was against the Northeast team from the Twin Cities, 5-3. And then one of the best teams in the league, the Southeast, has all these top players from different schools. They beat them. They had 7-0. They beat them 9-3.
Oh my.
Yeah. So this North team really did a job this
Good.
year on the.
Good.
So we gotta watch out for these 3 teams: is Hermantown, Duluth East, and Grand Rapids, and then this one kid from Hibbing that's on the team, UMD recruit. Watch out for Hibbing. He's gonna might help that team, and it'd be a big upset, but they have a chance against Hermantown in the Class A in Section 7.
Really?
So I'd keep a watch on Scott Perinovich,
Okay.
a UMD recruit.
Now, Jerry, prior to this Ted Brill and this tournament, they used to have what was called the Chicago Showcase.
Right, in the spring.
What did they do prior to that? Was there anything to this level?
No.
15 years ago? 20 years
the
ago?
Chicago Showcase was going on for a long time.
Oh, so that has gone on for a while.
Oh, yes. That was way back. It went on for a good 15 years. But what happened is that too many of the teams were just not good enough, and you start beating them 12-0 and 13-1. So they said we can do our own thing in Minnesota and then bring in all-star teams from Michigan, Massachusetts, and Shattuck and stuff like that, some tier 1s. And so that's what they've been doing.
Well, it sounds like it's really become a big success and something that these teams and coaches really build on.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know the Chicago Showcase was good at its time, but it's just changed. So it wasn't good.
Do they still hold it?
No.
Okay, so that's
No,
done.
that's done. They stopped that many years ago.
Huh.
So that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But when high school starts in a week, we're going to bring in the coaches from the high schools. We'll have Kevin Smalley from Denfield next week and Brian Flaherty from Duluth Marshall. That team just moved up to AA.
Yes.
So that's going to be some good talk there with Brendan and all his team and what's going on and what this going up to AA does to your coaching staff and what you have to do to compete, and it'll be good. And then we'll get Mike Randolph on again from Duluth East. But you know what? I'm going to try to get. He's a teacher, a sub all the time now since he retired, but he subs a lot. But I want to try to get Bruce Plant on for Hermantown.
For sure, you bet.
So we're going to get the high school coaches to get the season going. Then we got we're going to have Jerry DeMayo, head of the president of Old There and Heritage Center that runs that, and start of the season, he's bringing a guest in, special guest. I can't tell you who it is. He told me not to tell him, but on 27th and 28th of this month, he'll be signing his book. And this guy is famous. So we'll tell you that.
Not John Gilbert.
No.
Well, John's written a book and he's famous.
No,
So
this one just wrote the book.
more famous?
Yes.
Okay.
He's been around. Let's just say he's been around the U.S. Olympics for many Olympics.
Oh, well, that's
Hockey
exciting.
that.
And I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know the answer to this.
But
I don't know.
We'll do it in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Jerry will have 3 weeks when Jerry will come in then. But, boy, a lot of hockey this weekend. Wilderness, we'll start with juniors. The Wilderness, they split this weekend against Bismarck.
I was at Friday's game. They lost 2-1.
Oh, you called that game? I thought it was Saturday you're going
No,
to call.
Friday. And then Saturday night they won 3-0.
But you weren't there Saturday.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. But again, it's quite an atmosphere up there.
Yeah.
They've really got something going. NAHL is a good brand of hockey,
Right.
and when they've got a game scheduled, I would suggest you get up to Cloquet and check a game out.
Right. And one thing, Jackie Forberg, he's a brother of Derek Forberg, that's he's not on the roster now. He went down to their American Hockey League team in Ontario,
Yeah.
right down the block. But he played 2 games before he went down. But he played his first game in a year for the Wilderness.
Jack Forbert.
Yeah.
And scored a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of
Friday
neat,
night.
you know.
Yeah,
First
it
game
was.
back, he scores a goal. That's
your-
pretty neat.
Player of the game.
Yeah. Was he? They
Yeah.
gave him player of the game?
They did.
Good.
Yep.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Good to see it because he suffered a lot and he went through a lot. You know, when you're out a year, it gets to your head and everything. You know, will I ever play again? But getting out there and playing. So I hope he can stay healthy this way because they don't really know. He has to go out there and skate, and see what happens.
Yep.
But good for him.
Yeah. So the Wilderness in Cloquet, check them out at nahl.com. UWS and St. Scholastica started play this weekend. So Scholastica tied River Falls on Friday 3-3, and then they won Saturday 4-1 over Wisconsin Stout. Big crowd up at Mars Lakeview on Friday night in that 3-3 tie, over 400 fans. Scholastica tied the game with 19 minutes,
19 minutes?
less than a minute on the clock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, less than a minute on the clock.
Okay.
Dylan Nowakowski scored the game-tying goal, and then that Friday night game ended in a tie. Lake Forest, they'll play Lake Forest this weekend. Scholastica travel. They're going to travel to Lake Forest. UWS, 3-1 win over Northland on Friday, and then Saturday they beat Finlandia 4-1 at Houghton, Michigan. Coach Dan Stauber over at UWS, his 16th season.
Wow, he's been there that long.
Got Mark Wick up at Scholastica starting his 12th season. And then
And good to see Mark back.
it is. He took a leave of absence last season to deal with some issues, and he's back, so we're happy to hear that. UMD over the weekend, a nice Friday night win. UMD 40 shots on goal Friday night, beat Massachusetts Lowell 2-1. Andy Walensky and Dominic Tonanano, East boys, dominated that night with goals.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, the wheels fell off. 6-3 loss for the Bulldogs. Yikes.
All right. Wow.
Were you at those games?
Yeah, I was at the Saturday night game, the one that the wheels came off.
Yeah.
I didn't have no grease to put them back on.
It was a close game as far as the score sheet's concerned. Massachusetts 31 shots on goal, UMD 28. Goal scores for the Bulldogs: Osterberg, Farley, Kotick, or is it Kotick? And so Matt McNeely got into that game.
Right. They pulled him put him in after the second period. But then he didn't do that good either.
Now the Bulldogs will play at Nebraska-Omaha this weekend, and that's going to be tough to go down there and win after
Right.
Nebraska lost to
Well,
Western
truthfully,
Michigan.
this was a good team and it was a good test for the Bulldogs. So
This
they-
Massachusetts
Yes.
Lowell?
I think, like I was talking earlier today, that I think Mass Lowell has a good chance of getting to the Frozen Four. Because right now, even on the rankings, there's 6 in the pairwise and 6 in USCHO.
Well, have they been to the Frozen Four
Yes.
before? They have, huh?
I think the last time was when it was down in Tampa, about 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Could have been Pittsburgh or Tampa, but I
Ah,
forget which one they were there.
all right. Well, UMD is 3-2-2 on the season, and they've got to get that power play working. They had 2 power play goals over the weekend, but their power play needs to improve.
Yeah. Well, if you have a pencil or pen, I got some dates here that are big events for high school. And coming up, because since the high school practice starts on the 9th, on Tuesday at the Duluth Heritage Center, they have their annual jamboree. So all the Lake Superior Conference, like Duluth, Marshall, Superior, Cloquet, Hermantown, Proctor, Denfield will be there. So that's Tuesday, November 17th. And then on the first games at home will be on Friday, November 27th, and Saturday, the 28th. Denfield will be playing Red Wing at the Heritage Center on Friday night. And on Saturday afternoon, they got Bloomington Jefferson. And then right after that game, Duluth East has Wayzata. And then over at Mars Arena, Lakeview Arena, Benil will be in there Friday afternoon, late afternoon, playing Duluth Marshall. And then Minnetonka will be playing on Saturday afternoon. So there's some big teams coming in town. And Benil will be a top 10 team. Wayzata that plays East will be a top 10 team. But the big date I think you should mark your calendar is Wednesday, December 16th. Duluth Marshall and Duluth East start playing again.
There you go, folks.
At Amsoil.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So mark Wednesday, December 16th at Amsoil Arena, Duluth Marshall, Duluth East. Boy, it's been over 15 years since they played each other. Late 90s.
This is going to be big. There's going to be 2,000 plus fans in the stands for sure. Maybe more.
Oh, there'll be more. I think there'll be about 3,000. I don't think it'll sell out because of Marshall having only 300 and some students and that.
And that's December 16th, a Wednesday night. That's a good night to have it.
Yeah. And then right after Christmas, Duluth Marshall's having their Hilltopper Classic, and there's going to be some good teams in that. So the 29th, 30th, and 31st, the last 3 days of the year, get up to Mars Arena again. And then for sure, February 6th, Duluth is Hockey Day, Minnesota, down at the Bayfront. And then we got the playoffs on the 20th, be 4 games, 7AA and 7A on the 20th of February. And then the championships are the following week. On Wednesday is 7A championship, Wednesday at Amsoil, and 25th, Thursday is the 7AA. So these are big hockey days for high school hockey in the Northland.
You bet.
So UMD is going down to Omaha for the first conference game for them. And Omaha was undefeated playing their first conference game out there in Western Michigan. And I'll tell you, Western Michigan took it to Omaha.
They sure did.
And so now I think Omaha's really mad, and I think maybe Blaze has them doing Herbies and that, but UMD is not going to have an easy time going out there to Omaha.
They certainly won't, Jerry. They got their hands full this weekend, and then, and I hate looking ahead on this stuff, but after that, then they've got to come home and play Denver.
Yep, very good team. Every year in, year out, Denver's always up there in the top.
And if we dare look ahead past that, they go to Colorado College. Colorado College hasn't won a game yet this year. Granted, they're just in non-conference play as well, but and then we play Western Michigan. And then North Dakota. So
yeah, Western Michigan, I mean, they're playing good hockey right now. I don't know what it is. Everyone had them ranked like 7. Most people had them 7th of the 8-team league. You know, CC was the 8th team. But, wow, they're playing good hockey right now, so don't look past Western Michigan.
Now this weekend, the Gophers had the weekend off in Big Ten play.
They go out Notre Dame this weekend, South Bend, like we played them last weekend, not the weekend before this.
Wisconsin found a way to win games. They scheduled 2 games this weekend against Arizona State.
That's a way to get a win.
Now, next weekend, Wisconsin travels to North Dakota.
Well, there's trouble there for Wisconsin. Wisconsin can't score.
Is the Big Ten just going to throw in the towel and say, this is what we got, this is what we're going with?
Pair-wise, they don't have no team in the top 20. In USCHO, they have one team in the top 16, Michigan at number 13. I tell you, that league is...
Is there a possibility that this could change and that they'll change and maybe have Wisconsin and Minnesota come back to this? Well, it'll be the NCHC.
I don't see it because there's too much money.
Yeah.
too much money in the TV and sponsorship. And
I mean, if
the
this
Big Ten-
continues
the Big
year
Ten
after
network
year after
with every
year.
sport, they're not looking at one
I
sport.
mean, if this becomes a trend,
They're not going to get anyone in the stands.
well, that's what's happening.
So they're going just on TV revenue, these schools. It's kind of sad, though.
Well, this was predicted that this was going to happen when this occurred, and it's actually taken place. The Big Ten, what's now? It's been 2 years,
This is their third year.
third year,
Yeah.
and it's not working out well.
No. I mean, it was a non-conference game when I was down at a Gopher game about 10 days ago, and I took a picture 10 minutes into the game, and half the seats in the whole section was,
At Mariucci.
yeah.
Yeah, and Wisconsin Coal Center's even worse.
They say, I mean, there's,
Season tickets are down.
well, what they do is they put in the number of tickets sold, not people there.
Sure, oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
even though they say 6,000, it's still only 3,000 or 2,500 there.
Sure.
When there used to always be close to 15,000 every game. They fill that place out. And then the students are crazy. I mean, they're fun. Crazy, I mean.
Well, the Minnesota Wild had a nice win over Edmonton this week and Chicago, the Blackhawks, on Friday. And unfortunately, in that game, our very own Justin Fontaine got injured in that game.
Right, knee to knee. And I'm surprised, I can't even think of the player that did it now.
No suspension.
No, I'm surprised that nothing's come up on that.
I mean, you watch the play and he's got his knee out.
Right.
And
I
it's-
watched
it looks
it about
blatant to
15
me.
times, like, yeah.
Yeah. It's too bad that nothing happens.
Right. I don't think it's over yet. I think they're still looking at it.
What's the word on Justin?
I just, all the Wild does it now. It's kind of sad.
Well, it's lower body, but
Yes.
we know it's a knee.
Right.
And it's-
Anyone just watching the game.
Well,
knows.
is it day to day? Is he on a...
They haven't said
All right,
that.
okay. Well, he didn't leave under his own power. It didn't look
No.
good, him leaving the ice.
No. At the best, it's badly bruised, But who knows? I'm not a doctor.
The Wild have games this week at home against Nashville and Thunder Bay. I see the TB and I think Thunder Bay. Against Tampa Bay, actually they have a 3-game homestand coming up. They'll play Nashville on the 5th, Tampa Bay on the 7th, and Winnipeg on the 10th. And then they've got to travel for 4 games at Carolina, Dallas, Pittsburgh, and Boston. And then to close out the month, they'll host Nashville, Vancouver, Winnipeg, and Dallas.
Wow. So I tell you what, that Western Division is a tough division.
Things have changed a little bit this year.
Well, Anaheim's not playing good. And everyone,
bet.
most people pick them to win the whole division.
Oh, sure.
I mean, in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Vancouver's playing real good.
Yeah. And Nashville's playing good. But, hey, Chicago, they lost 3 key players again. Every time they win, they can't afford to keep these players. So they lost 3 key players. Patrick Sharp. They lost Oduya.
Sod and Oduya.
Yeah. And that's 3 key players. I mean, these are guys that help this team
You bet.
big time.
You
I
bet.
mean, not just fourth line guys or something, So, and plus Oduya was a defenseman, but boy, I can see him though. I can just see the way that club works with the key, like the captain there, and you get King going again, and they got some of these young kids. I think this is going to be a good team by the end of the year, Somehow they get to fill that up every year.
Yeah.
This is 3 Stanley Cups. They lost a lot of play. You look at all the players they lost in the last 6 years because of them being good, winning. It's amazing how they do it.
It is. It is.
I have to give credit to, the whole organization, how they get these players and that.
But if you win Stanley Cups and that's the outcome, I think that's a good trade.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
A lot of people say, just get us there.
exactly.
But they're winning it.
Well, the Wild, they've assembled a good team this year. Of course, Zach Parise and Ryan Suter, kind of the keystones up front and on the back end. But these young guys, they have to start performing better. I'm still not sold on Mikkel Granlund. I think Mikkel Granlund needs to, try to become more of a goal scorer, of a sniper. And, maybe that'll come. But you got to like Jason Zucker. He's the guy that'll start the goal scoring 10 seconds into the game.
But just like even Fontaine, I mean, when he's healthy and that, you get him on the same line for a couple of weeks, you can see the difference in his confidence and everything, how he sees the ice. A smart player out there. He'll get that puck to you. I mean, when you get him with Vanek and who was he with the other day? Was it Niederreiter? But whatever. Fontaine is another small kid. Zucker's a small kid. And Granlund. These guys, I don't know. I can't see him going through 81 games, and it's shown with Fontaine. He was injured when the season started. Now he's injured again. They're going to get injured a lot. And Zucker, with his speed, I saw him get cracked because of his speed. Some guy he's going to get hurt.
Well, he's a fun player to watch.
Right. Speed, I like speed, but holy cow. When you go on that fast and you get hit, it hurts a little more.
Devin Dubnyk is playing good. He just seems like he hasn't stepped up to the level he was at the end of from the time he got here, really.
Basically, I don't see him ever being that good again, that long of a streak. But I still think he can be decent, very good goalie. I don't think he'll ever be that good.
What's up with Nicholas Backstrom?
I think they're just paying. You have to pay him off. No one's going to pay that contract. You can't trade him.
Is he just somebody that the coach doesn't want to play?
I don't know. He was injured again, before the season this summer, and that they said, and I don't know why they got Kemper.
Yeah.
He plays good one game, and then the next game, what happened? But he doesn't play. That's hard to go in there and start, and be hot right away.
Sure.
If you don't play, at least Dubnyk gets a play every game in and game out, and just give him a rest once in a while.
So the Bulldogs are on the road this weekend to Nebraska, Omaha. Scholastica is traveling to Lake Forest. High school hockey, the Jamboree starts in 2 weeks. And a little bit of a lull here locally. The Minnesota Wild have games this week, Thursday and Saturday. And that about does it, Jer. We're going to wrap up. Thursday and Saturday the Wild play this week.
I'll be out in Omaha for look at their new stadium and see the Bulldogs play the Mavericks out there in Omaha. So,
oh, nice. You're going to travel with Coach Randolph?
I won't. I'll see him out there, but I'll be with another buddy of mine.
Good.
So check out the new stadium, see how I like it compared to the Amsoil.
Yeah.
Because they're about the same size.
The Minnesota Hockey Connection is produced by the staff at PACT-TV. We produce the show at Public Access Television and City Hall. We certainly want to thank them. Minnesota Hockey Connection, you can find us online, minnesotahockeyconnection.com, and go to our Facebook page and like us there on Facebook. And for Jerry Burrow, I'm Kenny Gallagher. And Jerry, we'll be back here next week to drop the puck.
Okay.
We'll see you then.